Hello there. I am back. I am Bernie Miklasz. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're going to have a great weekend. And welcome to the Bernie Show, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today's topic: John Mozeliak strikes again. After Erick Fedde's previous start on Sunday at Wrigley Field, manager Oli Marmol gave every indication that this could not continue. They were going to have a meeting and they're going to discuss it and they were going to determine what was next for Fedde. There is absolutely no question in my mind whatsoever that Marmol and pitching coach Dusty Blake wanted to move Fedde to the bullpen in that role where you put guys where you need someone. If it's a blowout game, they can preserve the bullpen, making sure the other relievers are fresh, that kind of thing. Marmol really likes Michael McGreevy. And he has not hesitated to praise Michael McGreevy, the prospect who was drafted in the first round back in 2021. Every time he's asked, he makes it clear that he really wants McGreevy to be here. Marmol joins us every Tuesday at noon on the Gas House Gang show on KMOX. And this week we asked him about John Mozeliak's recent comments on McGreevy still being at AAA Memphis instead of St. Louis, even though the Cardinals were getting such poor results from Fedde and Miles Michaelis. Good game by Miles Thursday night, by the way. Mozeliak said this of McGreevy in that interview at Wrigley Field last week. He said, quote, "We can't hold him down there forever." And he basically said, we don't have a spot for him. Well, when we asked Oli Marmol about that, of course you don't have a spot for him. It's just that John Mozeliak, you won't give him the spot. There's a big difference there. Like, you're the one blocking him. So anyway, when we asked Oli Marmol about this on KMOX the other day, he smiled and he kind of laughed a little bit and he said, quote, "You guys know where I stand on McGreevy. Love that kid. Love having him here. I am 100% certain, as I mentioned, that Marmol wanted McGreevy to take Fedde's start Saturday, tomorrow against the Atlanta Braves. And that was understandable. It really was an easy call. I assumed it would happen. There'd be a little meeting. They'd come up with a plan to give Fedde some stuff to work on while he regroups. And then they'll reassess things after the All-Star break. And make no mistake, Fedde's collapse has been startling in its severity. His last 9 starts, he's got a 6.48 ERA. Soaring walk rate, decreasing strikeout rate, an alarming rate of getting smashed for home runs, and left-handed hitters. I will spare you the stats. Maybe I'll put them in my column later today. Left-handed hitters over these last 9 starts have just destroyed Fedde. The numbers are just grotesque. So Fedde just hasn't been competitive. I mean, the Cardinals have lost 7 of his last 9 starts, and maybe he'll get lucky. Maybe he'll find it. Maybe he'll pitch respectably against the Braves, but that's really not the point. He is a lost guy right now, and his stuff has deteriorated. So the Cardinals claim they're trying to win, and let me edit that. The guys on the field and in the dugout are trying to win, but they can't control what happens upstairs on the front office level. I was surprised when the decision on Fedde or McGreevy lasted so long, but I kind of knew what was going on, or I sensed it. It was pretty obvious. Mozeliak was flexing his executive muscle, reminding everyone that he's still the boss. He's still in charge. It's his decision. The manager and the pitching coach want McGreevy. Well, tough. Mozeliak has the authority. He's got the power over the roster, and he will do whatever you want, and you're going to have to like it. So I was hardly surprised when Mozeliak overruled his manager on the McGreevy-Fedde decision, and Fedde will start against the Braves. There's so much more I want to get to in this. In fact, I had to take some stuff out. I had so much of it, but I still have a lot. I want to get deeper into this in my next segment. But first, I'm pleased to talk about the DraftKings Daily Pick 6 game. It's there for you to enjoy and make some money. I think if you think you know baseball, then put that brain power to use and win big. Win big cash prizes through the Daily Pick 6 fantasy contest at DraftKings. In the DraftKings Pick 6, you just focus on player stats, select anywhere from 2 to 6 players, and then you choose whether that individual, based on the stat line that's been set for him, will go higher or lower than the line. I have an example for Friday night's game, Cardinals and Braves. DraftKings has set a line of 4.5 strikeouts for Matthew Liberatore. So if you think he'll get at least 5 strikeouts, well, you choose the higher option. And there are reasons to believe he'll get the 5 strikeouts tonight. The Braves have the 4th highest strikeout rate in the National League against left-handed pitchers, and quite a few of their lineup regulars have like really high strikeout rates against left-handed pitchers. And as a team, the Braves, who just keep losing games, they have struck out 10 or more times in 8 of their last games. And I think Liberatore's rounding into shape after struggling a little bit in late May and early June. I think he's primed to have a good night against the Braves. So my play is Liberatore going over 4.5 strikeouts. That's how you do it. You pick 6 is that simple. It's a lot of fun. So get on in there, get in the game, and take your shot at winning plenty of money. Any kind of money, maybe plenty of money. You make the picks and you cash in. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. You will enjoy tracking your selected players while the games are in progress. But the most entertaining part is winning at DraftKings. It's easy to get going. You download the DraftKings app, so beautifully constructed. You open an account, choose a sport, pick your players, and get going. New players at DraftKings get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly with just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Great deal. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings, and the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, let's get back to the Mozeliak problem here in my second segment. I want to briefly talk about Oli Marmol and clear up what continues to be a terrible misconception. As soon as Marmol announced that Fedde would be starting Thursday, because he's in the dugout and he's in his office and he's the one giving the press conference. He's the one that has to speak for the organization. But as soon as they announced, no, we're going to go with Fedde Saturday, the attacks came rolling in on social media, wherever. It just kind of bugs me, this narrative, because it's unfair and it's also incorrect. Well, Oli said, there he goes. He's announcing it. See, he's a puppet. He's a puppet. How is he a puppet? Marmol is not in charge of setting the roster, okay? That's Mozeliak's job. The guy in charge of baseball ops controls the rosters, and the manager can say what he wants and he can do what he wants, but what he can't do is set the roster. And when I say he can do what he wants, well, he can only work with the roster that's been handed to him. But wait a minute, Miklasz, in this video, you said Marmol wanted McGreevy to start Saturday, but see, McGreevy's not starting Saturday. Fedde is. So, yeah, Marmol is a puppet. No, one more time. Marmol cannot promote McGreevy to the majors. The only man that can is John Mozeliak. And Mozeliak flexed and made an executive decision to keep McGreevy in Memphis. So why the hell is anybody blaming Marmol? Marmol wants McGreevy up here more than maybe a lot of y'all do, right? I don't know. I think Mozeliak has scars from being overshadowed by the giant presence of Tony La Russa when he was the manager here, and he wasn't going to let that happen again. So the point is, anytime John Mozeliak's got a chance to show that he's the man, he's in charge, I'm your boss, I will tell you how it's going to be. I will not be challenged. That's it. And you think, oh, Bernie, you're being a little dramatic. I am. Why don't you get in touch and ask Mike Schultz about all that? Anyway, Marmol is trying to win despite being handed a roster that's either a Rubik's Cube or a mess, or another example of Mozeliak's island of misfit toys. Marmol's trying to win in 2025, even though there's no real mandate, a clear mandate that puts winning first, because Mozeliak wanted to have his reset season, his runway season, his transition season, or whatever season he's calling it now. And I don't care who the manager is. It isn't just Oli Marmol, whoever would be in that job. It ain't an easy job when the president of baseball operations can't make up his own mind about what he wants. Mozeliak first says, well, we want young players and pitchers to get an opportunity. We want to put them on the runway. We want to give them a runway. But he's only gone so far with that. And then Mozeliak also says that they want to win, but it's more like, hey, we are determined to win. It's more like I sort of want to win. It would be kind of nice to win. That's the commitment, and that's no commitment at all. So I don't know how Marmol, frankly, can handle this craziness on a daily basis. One theory I have is because Bill DeWitt Jr. and Mozeliak have at least some cover because they know the manager is unpopular with the fans. So no matter what they decide upstairs, a lot of fans are going to blame Oli Marmol when the stuff he has absolutely nothing to do with. And so why am I saying that? Because we just saw an example of it. Remember what Mozeliak told reporters at Wrigley Field last weekend? McGreevy's a major league pitcher. There's just not a spot open. There isn't a spot open for a reason because Mozeliak won't open the spot. He can do it. He won't do it. He makes it sound like it's somebody else is not opening a spot for McGreevy. This is just craziness. And Mo knows that instead of taking 100% of the heat for keeping McGreevy locked in the minor leagues, it won't be that bad because, first of all, he doesn't care because he'll be out of here at the end of the season and the criticism doesn't matter. And B, Mo knows that the percentage of the fan base drools over any opportunity to blame Marmol for something. So let's make this clear, though, okay? John Mozeliak's got other priorities in mind. I'm going to explain that in my third and final segment. But first, it is a good time to rally and encourage my fellow men out there by letting them know all about BlueChew. Gentlemen, if you're in a slump when it comes to delivering in an important area, there is no reason for you to give up. You got to take your swings. With BlueChew, the motto is simple. Chew it and do it. And gents, BlueChew can help you get going with a boost that will lead to a more pleasurable and fulfilling life with your significant other. And that's a really good thing for both of you. So you don't need to try and choke up on the bat and bunt for hits when you can power up and hit home runs. BlueChew can get you there. A better joystick is available for the game, and it's up to you to take action. And that applies to men of all ages. I know all about it. That's why I am here to tell you why I appreciate BlueChew, and I do. And I want you to discover the benefit. This is the original brand, BlueChew, offering chewable tablets for enhanced intimacy. So if you want to get back in the game with better equipment and an enhanced love life, get after it. And you will get your first month of BlueChew free. You're just a few clicks away, and it's easy to get it. Sign up at BlueChew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. It's all done online in private, no doctor's office, awkward conversations, crowded pharmacy. Just order online and you're good to go. And we got a special deal for our listeners and viewers. Try your first month of BlueChew free when you use the promo code Bernie. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. That's promo code Bernie. Visit BlueChew.com for details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew very much for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right, let's wrap this up. Bernie Show segment number 3 today. Mozeliak wants Fedde in the rotation, not because he will help the Cardinals win, but because it gives Mozeliak a chance to feel better about himself. The last chance he has to feel better about himself. When he made the trade for Fedde at the deadline in 2024, he was praised by national media. Fedde was on the rise, was having a really good season for the White Sox. A lot of teams wanted him. Cardinals gave up Tommy Edman in a 3-team deal to get him, but that was okay because there was zero chance of the Cardinals re-signing Edman to a contract extension when he became eligible for free agency following the 25 season. So the trade made sense at the time, and anyone who says it doesn't is just talking to themselves or looking for yet another reason to say you're right when you agreed with the move at the time. You want to kind of want to like position yourself better. I thought the Cardinals made a good trade because the Cardinals had a shot at making the playoffs and they needed a starter, but it didn't work out that way. Sometimes trades don't work out that way. Fedde wasn't anything special in his first month with the Cardinals. He did pitch well in September, but by then it was too late. The Cardinals had fallen out of postseason contention. Still, Mozeliak could have maximized the Fedde trade. Fedde's a free agent after 2025. He had a reasonable salary, and a lot of teams were interested in acquiring him. So Mozeliak had the opportunity to cash Fedde in at his peak value last offseason, but he decided to wait because he said, well, the Cardinals are trying to win in 2025, except they weren't, okay? They were stuck in the mediocre Mozeliak middle, and they still are there, even though they're exceeding expectations, to the credit of the manager, the pitching coach, the coaches, and the players. Fedde has lost most, if not all of his trade value after pitching so poorly this season. So Mozeliak obviously whiffed on an opportunity to sell high on Fedde a few months ago. But he didn't do it when he could have done it last winter. And now with the Cardinals close in the wild card race, Mozeliak is hurting his own team's chances by refusing to call up McGreevy to replace Fedde. And rather than give his manager and the players a starting pitcher that can help the Cardinals, give them a better chance to win, Mozeliak is determined to show the baseball world that he was right about Fedde, and he is still right about Fedde, and he's going to show you that he was right about Fedde, because he can still get something for Fedde by holding on to him and trading him on July 31st. So with that decision, Mozeliak confirmed something that we already knew. The priority is not winning. The priority is Mozeliak massaging his own bruised ego and protecting his legacy with his stubborn refusal to acknowledge that the Fedde thing didn't work out as planned, and that he's now determined to get anything at all to show that for his failed trade and for his epic blunder in declining to move Fedde last offseason. So Mozeliak believes Fedde's trade value will go down if he's put in the bullpen. I would point out that Fedde's trade value is already ruined by a terrible performance in 2025, which was the risk of keeping Fedde instead of trading him last offseason. And if Mo manages to find a trade partner for Fedde by July 31st, well, okay, so what? Is Mozeliak going to take a victory lap outside of Busch Stadium, run around, blowing a horn or something? So if the Cardinals get like an extremely marginal, who cares prospect or a couple of who cares non-prospects in exchange for Fedde, what? That's it? That's all you're going to have to show? The Cardinals could have received a lot more from Fedde when Fedde had value, but the genius named John Mozeliak overplayed his hand. And when you think about it, this is the appropriate way for Mo to basically close out his term in office with another whopper of a mistake. And he can do this because he can do this for a lot of reasons, but the bottom line is he's in charge. And until the day he packs up and goes, he's going to remind everyone he's in charge. When asked about the decision to start Fedde, Marmol said yesterday, and I quote, "There are other variables that play into this other than just performance." Oh, yeah. Marmol's frustration with Mozeliak was obvious, but there's nothing the manager could do except defy his boss and throw down and draw a line in the sand and all that stuff, just the way Mike Schilt did before he got fired. So maybe Fedde can put together a couple of good starts to give Mozeliak a chance to get, a couple cases of Gatorade or something, and maybe Fedde can put together a couple good starts to help his teammates and his manager stay in the race. But Fedde's got an individual 3-9 win-loss record this year, and he hasn't been credited with a win individually since May 9. The Cardinals are 5-13 when Fedde starts this season, and they're 2-8 in his last 10 starts. Meanwhile, there's McGreevy, who's pitched very well at Memphis, and for the most part has pitched very, very well when he's been given a brief opportunity in St. Louis. And Mozeliak's front office thought enough of him to draft him in the first round, the 18th overall pick in 2021. And it was Mozeliak, nobody else, who set up the 2025 season as a runway opportunity for young players. And Mozeliak also didn't say, well, we're not going to win. No, he said, no, we think we can win. So he said, hey, runway season, and we think we can win. Well, the proof is in his actions, because McGreevy fits the runway season plan, right? And McGreevy can help the Cardinals win, give them a better chance to win than Fedde. So McGreevy, in other words, checks both boxes. He checks the runway box. He checks the we can win box. But Mozeliak continues to block him. And why does Mozeliak continue to block him? Because the Mozeliak ego is in the way. And the Mozeliak ego, I get so worked up. The Mo ego is in the way of progress. And it's going to be that way, Mo being in the way, until he packs up his office and goes away. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope you hit the like button, leave your comments. Want to hear from you. And thanks to DraftKings for presenting the Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. Thank you very much.